GTii is starting to give me that little bit of a feeling. Let's go ahead and verify exactly what I mean by that. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with a GTii technicals, raw price action, and statistical thread of analysis on this fine Tuesday night. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community and Discord called ARCab. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right into the charts. All right, so we are looking at GTii and the hourly chart here, and we're going to start off the immediate short-term time frame analysis with the ARC-Series Crypstex indicators. So the first one we're going to be looking at is actually the DBSI. Okay, so DBSI is a statistical type of indicator that takes a cumulative score based on every single candle print in the throughout the entire trading history of GTii, particular to the 1 hour chart in this instance. Okay, so that score gives us a statistical value that appears as a percentage-based score right up here, conveniently located at the top right of your screen. So you can see that the bulls are currently at 80% win rate and the bears are at about 20% win. Okay, so we are definitely leading the way to the upside. Another good thing to notice is that DBSI does have buy and sell print signals, and you can see that the blue signal right here has been printed on today's candle, particular to the after hours trading. And also the enhanced MACD, this is this one right over here. This is the ARC enhanced MACD, which is also a part of the Crypstex indicator set that can be available to you as long as you actually send me a DM, and I will go ahead and explain the details as to how to acquire these. Please know that in acquiring these, please know that TradingView has their own subscription based to use their platform, which the link is in the description below as well. I'm an affiliate, so that actually helps me out. In starting a subscription with TradingView, it does not include a subscription for the Crypstex indicators, as they are authorized retailers within TradingView. Okay, so the subscription based for the indicators is definitely separate. So definitely get in touch with me and we'll go ahead and go over those details. Okay, so yeah, very important. DBSI flashing a buy signal. Also, enhanced MACD has flashed a buy signal in the after hours trading, and we can actually verify to see if we have some upside coming in with ARCarmor as well. Yep, ARCarmor definitely has a long signal printed right at the last candle from today's aftermarket activity. Okay, so now ARCarmor is an indicator that's comprised of several exponential moving averages, all placed algorithmically within the chart, so we can gauge this wave of motion, okay, or a directional wave. So with that directional wave, we actually do get some buy and sell signals. Okay, so particular to this area right here, it says long, it goes up, then we got a little tiny short signal right here, it goes down. We have a long signal now, and it has not printed something else. Okay, so now we are definitely honoring that long signal, and we have noticed in the prior days that we have been starting to print the green exponential moving averages, starting that wave that can potentially turn into a green. Okay, so this is looking more like a reversal than it does look like a temporary upside, but we still have to validate that, and we still have to practice so much caution. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next chart to see what we have. Okay, so this is the 8-hour chart that we were looking at just yesterday, and we did print an area of relevant support based on the bear signals that we were getting. And we also did notice that we had the 10-day simple moving average located well within the within that zone. Okay, so this definitely served as the average. As you can see, this candle here actually went right down at that SMA 10 in confluence with the spot 7-2 at about 58.23, and it continued on to the upside. The candle that I'm referring to is actually today's 8-hour candle. Okay, today being the 20th of December. All right, so now it did face actually a rejection from that 4 spot 618, the last candle I'm talking about, and it has since closed just above. Pardon me, lots of water drinking here. It has bounced from the 3 spot 618, and it has found some resistance right now at the 4 spot 236, located at 66 cents. So that's currently where we're sitting at in the 8-hour chart. Now, it's very dangerous when we're printing candles that are long wicks to the upside like this. Okay, so that usually presents some type of downside coming in, and I mean, especially since we're breaking, market structure in like this candle here. It made a new low instead of continuing that higher high process that we've been doing. But if you can see this iteration here, located on December 16th, this 8-hour candle actually did break market structure, making a lower high. Making a lower low versus the higher high that we were presented from the previous 3 days, or 3 8-hour iterations. So it looks like it's following that type of pattern. Okay, so we can only assume that the upside is still coming in, but it is presenting a danger to this. Okay, and that honestly looks like there's a lot of short positions trying to combat against the bulls right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next chart. So this is the 5-day chart that we actually haven't seen in quite a while. Okay, so this 5-day chart is important and relevant to our current situation now, because if you can take a look at, let me make those. Let me make that text a little bit bigger. I have to catch up on all of these charts to make that bigger text. Okay, so yeah, if you can look at the value here, you can see that the 5-day candle that we're currently sitting on is going to be closing in 16 hours, 37 minutes and counting. Okay, so what's particularly good about the candle that we're on right now, and I did mention this several days ago, is that we definitely need this candle to print in the form that you see it in. Okay, so this would be a massive this would be a massive bullish hammer located at the very bottom of a downtrend, which usually signals a potential upside continuation or a reversal. Okay, so this is a very good thing that the GTii asset is doing right now. I know that I actually heard through, I think, Avid Trader, that there is some pretty good news coming about, I think in particular to CTRD and GTii to combat against the short positions. And there is some please don't take it from me, okay? You can take a look at Avid Trader's profile and look at that last video that he printed. I think it was a 5-minute video. Okay, so he did mention the potential of a double squeeze, and it's interesting that the double squeeze talk is happening within what I'm about to mention next. Okay. This is the statistical side of the analysis. Now, actually, I feel like I'm going to go over it one more time, entirely like the whole description for the new viewers and new listeners. Okay, so we're going to go over the statistical data. This is volatility. This indicator here that I'm circling around, this is volatility you're looking at, and volatility represented by this indicator BBWP. Volatility is direction neutral, and we actually pair it with an indicator called stochastic momentum, which is actually proprietary to TradingView software. Okay, so it's a free indicator. So this indicator actually gives us that bias for direction, okay, since volatility is direction neutral. Okay, so the back test that I performed in GTii was actually any time that volatility has reached critical volatility, which is anything above this 90% line. So anytime that we've reached that 90% or within the 90 percentile and started a contraction phase towards the downside alongside stochastic momentum making a pivot towards the upside, I've taken note of that iteration's duration. I've taken a note of that iteration's upside thrust, and versus the times that the iterations have guessed the upside correctly versus incorrectly. So that gives us a statistical mean. Okay, so let's go over those details right now. Before I go over the volatility versus momentum profile, I'm going to let you know that I did backtest the stochastic momentum indicator by itself in the GTii asset, particular to the 3-day time frame. Okay, so out of a total 11 iterations, the momentum oscillator has guessed the upside correctly 10 out of those 11 times, giving us a 90% momentum upside accuracy. accuracy. Okay, so that's pretty good. It's definitely not perfect, but it's definitely one of the highest iterations that I've gotten. Okay, the danger within this is that there's only 11 iterations. Usually I would bet more money when there's like 70 or 80 plus iterations to where we have more statistical value or historical value. Okay, so now pertaining the volatility versus momentum profile. Okay, we are looking at a total of 11 iterations, of which 7 were correctly guessed to the upside. Okay, so that gives us an average upside accuracy of about 68.63% with a massive upside thrust of 3,202% to the upside, and with an average duration of just over 32 days. So 32 and a quarter days. This is proof of work. Okay, so what are the criteria that we need in order for us to apply this massive metric? Okay, so please remember that these are not certainties. These are just statistics for us to evaluate. Okay, so first of all, particular to the volatility metric, which is BBWP, we need both of the volatility component, which is this spectrum line, and the moving average, both within the volatility zone, which is now inside as of today's closing of the market. And we do need it either printing these red bars, which are actually 3-day reads since we're in the 3-day chart, okay, or contracting to the downside. So that we need those two variables. So either we're maintaining inside, actually 3 of them, right? So either we're maintaining inside of critical volatility, or we're printing max bars, which are the 3-day reads, or we're contracting to the downside alongside the momentum oscillator pitched to the upside. Now, I have been covering this, and I have been actually monitoring this every single day for the GTii holders, so that you can see how the implied projected target that I'm looking at, or path, has been followed thus far. And you can see that the pivot is now potentially finding a bottom. And it looks like now it's sideways, okay? So we definitely need both of these averages, K and D, which are from the stochastic momentum. We need them both pivoted towards the upside, okay? So as long as we get that, then we can apply that 32 and a quarter day average and a 3,000% move to the upside, which would essentially take us to about around $70, okay, which is incredible. Now, if you do draw a trend line from this candle here, located on April 22nd, 2019, and line it up with the high of this candle right over here, which is March 26, 2021, you can actually see that the top of the iteration is landing right near that angled this trend line that actually signifies or signals some type of linear regression. Okay, so this is a potential, and it looks like GTii may be prepping for a macro higher high. Okay, so this is macro because we're looking at the entire trading history of GTii here. Okay, so this is the first candle here. We're looking at we're looking at that regression actually ending up at about $70 right over here somewhere. Okay, so this is potentially what could happen, and you can see that the entire asset is actually making a series of higher highs and higher lows in general. Okay, so GTii may actually have that thrust power to go all the way up to the upside, but please know that the iterations and the statistical values are contingent upon that condition, the condition which I mentioned within the pivots of the volatility versus momentum pivots. Okay, please know that. Okay, and they're not certainties. They're just averages, okay? So it's interesting how all these catalysts are coming in, and we've been noticing this massive move to the upside for quite a while now. So those of you listening, I thank you so much for continuing to support the ARCa brand, and please just, I love you guys. Thank you so much. Okay, let's move on to the last part of the chart here. So this is going to be the divergence chart, okay? So divergences happen when there is an opposition of price action versus momentum. Momentum in this case represented by RSI, which is the relative strength index, okay? So for the first time in a very long time, we actually are noticing finally an upside to the RSI signal, which is the purple line, and it has made a bullish cross above the 14-day moving average, which is the pink line, okay? So we did notice bullish drives of divergence, 3 of them to be in particular, and we did notice them a few sessions ago, and they're finally actually realizing to the upside, okay? So this is looking very good for the GT GTii asset. Okay, so as long as now that we're approaching this very shallow area of the oversold percentile, which you can actually tell by looking at this. Let me get rid of Discord here. You can actually tell by looking at and the other trading view window and my sound card. Wow. Okay, so I just moved them to my other screen. Okay, so this is the diagram for the RSI properties of so you can take a look at. Okay, so these 4 zones are the ones that I would like for you to hone in on, and you can see that they are located right over here in the chart. Okay, they're just blown up for your convenience. Okay, so now yes, the opposition of price action versus momentum. In this case, we are making a series of higher lows in the momentum, while price action is actually making lower lows. Okay, so this is what you're looking at as regular drives of bullish divergence. Okay, so this is looking good. Now let's open up a multi-pane so that we can finally end the session here. Okay, so particular to, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and load up the 30-minute and keep it traditional, just the same way we always do. Okay, very, very interesting thing here. The 30-minute immediate short-term time frame is actually now approaching the deep areas of the bullish weakness control zone, which is right here. So the shallow areas of the bull weakness zone actually present a gravitational pull into the following zone, which would be the bull strength percentile. Okay, so in this case, we have made a bullish cross above the moving average and so are suggesting a continuation onto the upside. Very, very good for the immediate short term. Okay, so now the bi-hourly RSI is suggesting a continuation to the upside even still, and we are definitely above the moving average, which is very good. And now we're in the bull weakness percentile. Okay, the thing here is that as long as we maintain within this shallow area of the bull weakness percentile, the likelihood of coming back into the prior zone is greater. Okay, so the good thing is that again we have the moving average below us, so we can actually come back down and test it as a form of support before a continuation onto the upside. Okay, so it's still looking good nonetheless. Now let's look at the 6-hour RSI. As the 6-hour RSI is presenting more of a neutral bias for direction, we are getting sort of a hint from the moving average here, suggesting a continuation to the upside, but it's ever so slight. Okay, now the fact that we're laying within the shallow areas of the bull strength percentile, again, likely means that we can be gravitationally pulled right into the following zone, which would be the bear weakness percentile. Okay, now the daily RSI is presenting a slight upside pivot, which hasn't been seen in quite a while now, and we have since made a bullish cross above the moving average. So now you can actually see that we're rejecting the oversold percentile located right down here, and you can see that we're peaking right into the bear strength percentile, which is very good. Okay, the pivot looks pretty okay, but the thing is that when you actually zoom out, you can actually see that it's still a little bit favoring a neutral bias. Okay, so let's just look at the buy daily and see what we have. Buy daily is now finally entering the bear strength percentile. As long as we remain in that deep area, we can actually face a rejection right back into oversold. Okay, so we definitely have to watch out for that. Good thing here is with the 3-day RSI, it has now actually reclaimed the very shallow areas of the bear strength percentile. And again, as long as we maintain in this shallow area, a pull into the following zone is likely. Okay, so things are definitely looking good for GTii thus far. Please remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment. Okay, so I need you to do your own DD and everything would be just fine. Okay, so yeah, the Crypstex indicators are suggesting upside. Man, it's just I'm actually a little baffled right now that it is and excited that it is presenting some bullish signals. Okay, so if you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll make sure to leave the links in the description below for you to consider joining the ARCa trading community. Visit me on Twitter. My Twitter handle will be right there. Definitely sign up for TradingView, as it does help my future in trading out, since I am an accepted affiliate with the TradingView people. And definitely know that the indicators are a separate subscription from the subscription you make for using the TradingView software. Okay, you guys. But with that said, thank you so much. I wish you well. I wish you a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.